One love, Delta 9 family. Welcome into the flight. Welcome into the flight. What's going on your side of the globe? As per usual, when it's Virgo season, is a celebration time, but it's also going back into the cool weather over here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So it's usually a little bit chilly going into this part of the year. Today, same thing. Hopefully it's sunny and warm on your side of the globe. We got so much to get into today on Movement Mondays. The person that was wanted in the Lola case turned themselves in. We're definitely going to be getting into some of those details, and we're going to be getting into some more of the backstory related to some of the situations that might have triggered everything that is going on in this case. We're going to get some more backstory about the Joshua David situation. We're going to get some more backstory about the connections with that. We're going to be hearing some more details as it related to everything that is going on with the case. The top cops are also give some insights about it that I'm going to be sharing right here on Movement Mondays on Delta 9 Media. Now, y'all don't know the usual thing. As you come in, if you're live now or if you're going to watch us in the future on the rewind, usual thing, thumbs up the live. If you're subscribed, subscribe. Costs you nothing to subscribe, right? Special thank you to everyone that's joining us. Early part of the live, Melinda, Wayne, Wendy, thanks for tuning in. Lino, Sandrini, thanks for being a part of Movement Mondays. Paula, thanks for tuning in. So many details that we're going to be jumping into. Plus, it seems like the attacks have begun, Team Delta. It seems like the attacks on the opposition has begun, because the highlight is complaining about attacks. Dr. Todd is complaining about attacks. The Honorable Brooms is complaining about attacks. Right? And we clearly saw what happened with Mr. Travis Chase, with the confrontation and the board whistle that was sent out by persons in authority. So what's really going on? What are we witnessing right here? Is this the aftermath of the elections? Now we got to witness all the different attacks on persons that had the gall or the will to go up against the persons that would have won. We're going to get into some of those details and highlight some of what's going on right here on Delta 9 Media Movement Mondays. And so many other things. We're definitely going to make sure that we keep you updated with all of these details and more. All right. Good afternoon to Paula. Or good afternoon to Suzanne and Maria as well. Welcome in. Maria is saying she's checking in all the way from Atlanta. Big up to everybody out in this beautiful state of Georgia. Wendy tuning in all the way from London. International flight, and we are boarding right now. The flight is boarding. So as you come in, ladies and gentlemen, get yourself ready, because we're about to take off in a couple of seconds, giving you all of these very important and potent details right here on Delta 9 Media Movement Mondays. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, the flight is about to take off, and we are about to get into some very, very interesting, trending topics right here on Delta 9 Media. Right here on Delta 9 Media Movement Mondays. It's Movement Mondays, buddy. One of them Mondays where we coming back from a long weekend. So much went down this weekend. We had the coronation, or some persons would call it the swearing in ceremony of the 9th president of Guyana, right? And then we had that tragic situation that went down with a coward and what those group of cowards did with Melly Mel, you understand? Well, not with Melly Mel, with Lola, I should say. The situation that went down with Lola. And so many things, so many other things that we're going to be highlighting over here. So many things that we're going to be highlighting over here on Delta 9 Media. Alright? So the flight is taking off. It's time that we take off now and get into some of these details, keeping you updated with every single thing. The very first thing that we're going to get into today, the very first thing that we're going to bring forward right here on Delta 9 Media is this. Let's jump straight into these details. Now, for us to really start to understand, what's going on with this story, with Lola and this person that is involved in the story and all of that, and what Lola was talking about, I got to give persons a refresher so they could understand the details and the implications that went down with this whole case, right? Persons whose names were implicated and all of these other things. And that's what we're going to do right here. It happened that I uploaded this video a couple of months ago, right? But it's good that we could get a refresher. The flight is cooling. The flight is cruising. And we're right now updating ourselves with a situation that might have passed a little bit a while, but it's still very relevant to what's going on right here, because you got to understand the backstory so that we could move forward. We got to understand the foundation in the matter, right? So let's get into some of these details, and then we're going to jump straight into the updates with everything that's going on with the case right now with Lola before we move on to some more topics. Right here on Movement Mondays, Delta 9 Media.
Tag everybody.
Ever wondered what your home looks like from space? Enter your address and get a 360-degree satellite view of your home.
Everybody, this is the time you go and tag. I have been a special to inform you about a make a life with 3 young men where the Guyana Police Force has put out. I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about, right? And we're going to see, we're going to clear the hair. We're going to clear the hair, right? So let me show you guys this. I sent this page, I told them I'm dealing with. Okay, hey, I said, hey, I'm trying to reach out to you guys to put this story out there. This young man is wanted. Okay, Dominic Dariel Osborne, Kieran Hines, and O'Malley Vera. All are wanted by the Guyana Police Force for a murder committed on Lawrence Wayne, called Bye-Bye, and Anthony Abasak. And this young man, okay, named Kieran Hines. Ladies and gentlemen, I want the world to see. I'm going to call these young men and interview them, okay? So call a friend, tag a friend. I want you guys to pay very close attention. We don't know what is going on, okay? Let's hear. I want to call these men right now. Let's hear what is going on. Muslim. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, that.
Hi, good afternoon, sir. Thank you for reaching out to me. I'm on live right now on the Tobisha page. The world is listening to you guys. Could you identify yourself for me, please?
Yeah, this is Kieran.
Yeah, Dominic Osborne.
Dominic Osborne, good afternoon, sir.
Trying to come to clear up your name.
You come to clear your name.
Incident.
Okay.
People trying to put me name for because these people them is trying to attack me with the police because at this point nobody can put out a wanted bulletin for somebody if they never find you on a crime scene or they never identify you. Nobody could never identify people in a dark car as you are claiming who ever come to do the crime.
Okay.
So with everything we're going on, this thing coming from this man named Call up on the police friends them man trying to use every power they could just to get rid of me, my friend. You understand? Because this Dorman Street shooting,
yes,
we was no way part of Guyana when this thing transpired, right? And for no we dealt innocently, we carrying on people them putting we name out there as wanted men for something we never have knowledge about. It's very dangerous to we because we got we family, we got we life out there still. Anytime we go out there, people gonna kill me because of things what people put out there that is not even true. You know?
Yes.
And this whole problem coming from Dreddy killing. From since Dreddy dead, there's a whole lot of everything happening in Guyana, they putting me in my bedroom, but you know?
Okay.
It's like soon Dreddy dead, these man them call we name, these man use a car with me bedroom is drive.
Yes.
For go and do the killing for Dreddy. Now when the killing done, the next day, we name all over Guyana for this killing for something that we never have no knowledge about. When these men don't kill Dreddy, these men come from Suriname for our widows there.
Okay.
Let me know that this man, what they kill was me bedroom family. You
Okay.
know? So, when these people them come from Suriname and a whole lot of killing start from Suriname, these man tie me to this killing same way as Dreddy killing. So how we could kill Dreddy, then we gonna kill the people who kill Dreddy.
It don't make sense. It don't make sense.
Then Call up now. He ends gonna get shoot up and these man still come and put me in the he ain't done. Then go father go and get killed. Nothing never come out of this story. Nobody never said nothing. Why they never put out a wanted bulletin for the people who killed Dreddy? Why they never put out a wanted bulletin for the man them who killed Rasputin?
Okay.
Why y'all only putting wanted bulletin for me bedroom for something we don't even know about? These man they will get shoot this ex-Phantom man. And why we could even entertain going for shooting at Phantom man? We Phantom people are not got no problem.
Okay.
And this is a direct attack coming from Caesar and Narain because these people then kill me father and the information will call up giving these man.
If you're here in the area and are looking for a solution to heat your home this winter, then this is hands down the system you need to be looking at.
Is that we want to kill Caesar Narain for me father.
Let me ask a question. What you mean? Hold on. Let me ask a question. Who said you guys want to kill the police that kill your father? Who's these persons said that?
Call up and tell Caesar that I want to kill Narain for me father.
Okay. But so, is this accurate? This information is accurate?
Now getting scared because it's not no threat nobody would take lightly. Obviously, people gonna always go on the alert. Why you put out a wanted bulletin for people more than not question? When you put out a wanted bulletin for people, you have put out for questioning or relation to a murder. You have put out a whole murder.
Yeah, you could see the whole victimized stuff because it don't have no evidence claiming which anymore. Yeah, I can't say we face for no picture. We face for no picture. First thing first, right?
Yes.
I drive by going now. You standing up, I can't stop and shooting. You looking to see how much man there in the car, who's the man who's shooting? You say you running for your life?
Definitely.
Definitely. Yeah, I try to say people see me like see me in car like all this parts. Y'all can't say y'all run in some house, y'all find any more the weapon, y'all find any clothes over here. None of that. Y'all don't have no evidence.
But let me ask y'all a question. I don't think the Guyana police force have known you guys though. Like I don't really think they know you. You know what I'm saying?
They don't know us there. What I'm telling you is call up with this guy call up pushing your own support. Is he pushing your own narrative that is Oscar you want we out of the country and he using his police power to get us out.
Hey, my dog, what's the guy now?
Yeah.
All of these men them in Guyana
yeah.
got money.
Yeah.
These men them trying to fight against me because these men serious big threat.
Okay.
All of these things are going on. How two man local responsible for all of them killings? We's not John.
All of these things going on in that little area, in that small zone, in that beautiful region that we call Guyana, right? And then we see, as we fast forward, one of the most recent and most public conversations that we're going to hear from Lola was this. We're making sure that on Movement Mondays, we update everybody with what's going on. Keeping it clear, like the sky in most places right now, so that we could identify the real details in these very trending stories.
I will not take bullying from no government. It's so quiet I've been very, very, very quiet with this whole election thing. I've been neutral with all the parties. I was always a supporter of P.P.P, but ever since Muhammad came about, these people trying to collect all his public figures to tarnish them. Like, they're trying to tarnish you, they're trying to victimize you, they're trying to belittle you, they're trying to, it's all kind of thing they're doing. They're trying till they can't try no more. And guess what? I give up. I break my silence today. I break my silence 100% today. These people are some wicked sets of people. You know, all the years Melly Mel trolling them, Melly Mel talking about them. I used to keep out. I used to keep out to it because she got she life to live, she got for know. And I said, girl, I don't jump on bandwagon with friends for whatever. But the girl know what she's saying. Let me tell you something.
So who else noticed? Welcome into the live to everybody that's in the live right now. Let me definitely get into some comments and see what persons are talking about in the always insightful commentary section. Let's see what person's dealing with in here. Patrick is saying, now let us see P.P.P government extradite Daddy J.R. Senior Police Superintendent. Him not saw, May Thomas and others. Wow. Who knows if they'll do that? Patrick, let's see if that happens. Let's see if that ever happens. Who knows if that will take place? Maybe they might not have to. Maybe persons might step in and do that in a different manner. That's a real point too, that they definitely might be sinking themselves. But who else noticed that the thing that the charge that was sent down, and because the top cops were giving certain insights about certain board whistles that's already being sent out, you know, about this case right now. We're gonna hear what the top cops them got to say about it. But first, let's listen to some insights from persons that might have a different political view on this matter. Let's listen to the other side. Just like how we do it over here at Delta 9 Media, we check both angles. How many other angles? 3, 4, 5, 6 different angles to our story. Analyze it so that we could really realize what's really taking place right here. Right? Remember, one person was wanted. Another person. Greetings. You're on to Delta 9 Media Live. Greetings. 1 second. Let's put you on the Bluetooth.
No, I just sent a text to your phone.
Oh, you did? I would gotta check it. You gotta give me a second. I ain't checked it for you.
I'm watching your lines. I just sent a carry back on the information. I just sent a number to your phone.
Good.
Still bet you can get it done, man.
I'm gonna check it out.
Cool, thanks.
Good. Let me hear some of what's going on right there.
individual. Right? Rondell is on the list of persons who are sanctioned in Guyana. He's listed as one of the drug traffickers. Right? No. How you believe he get on the list? Now let me simplify it for you. 3 drug traffickers with the United States labeled as drug traffickers, and 1 senior police officer were the Americans assisted and facilitated in the movements of drugs in Region 1 and all these things, were placed on the United States OFAC sanction list. A few weeks after, Azadin Mohammed and his father went to visit agents in Barbados. The Americans would have obviously had to be investigating them for a long period of time. But I can tell you, things that confirmed, things about them where visit, me know how cocaine is made, me know how it's wrapped. All these things I do, and these crazy actions you see, is a sober head. You won't ever see it when I drunk.
So what I mean? That mean that allegedly, seemingly, right? Mohammed would have snitched out the persons them who get sanctioned. So that mean the person them who get sanctioned allegedly that are connected to the P.P.P. allegedly really had something of substance that Mohammed could have snitched out that would have caused them to get into that situation, because there's been a lengthy investigation. It's not just that original conversation that he might have had or the whatever he might have sold out allegedly. But let me listen some more, because we know there's more to this case, There's more to this case. Something like that just doesn't randomly happen. A person just doesn't sit in front of their home and that situation occur just like that. There's some amount of calculation. There's some amount of tracking, there's planning and all of that is involved. And then there's also a scheme and a way that persons are usually thinking and plotting to try to get away with it as well. So let's analyze everything that's going on, because allegedly the person that was wanted turned themselves in for questioning in the matter. The same person that was sanctioned, that was wanted, turned himself in, right? So that being the case that he turned himself in now and another person was arrested, let's see how this case progresses. And right now we want to send healing energy, we want to send strength, and we want to send a quick, speedy, and full recovery to one of Guyana's greatest artists to date, because of the amount of impact that she would have had in such a short period of time. We want to send all that good energy, all that great vibrational energy to Lola and those that are definitely close to her right now and going through it. There's a lot of things going on in the country right now, because we're going to hear from the highlighter. We're going to hear from persons that are speaking out about things that's going on with Dr. Todd, the Honorable Dr. Todd, right? It's a whole lot of things. And look, elections just finished. Elections just finished. And now we're hearing all of these things now. Persons getting victimizing this way, victimizing that way, and persons even ending up in situations like what happened with Lola. Do we analyze some more of what's being said? Because as we know from the situation that went down with Adriana, rising power to her and condolences, definitely sending out energy to her family that might be going through whatever situation they're going through. And definitely they are still in a mourning mode and they're still going through a lot of frustrations dealing with moving forward for justice in the case. Over here at Delta 9 Media, we are definitely all about justice for Adriana Young and everyone that's in the comment section that's from the Purple Army that understand what the movement is about. Whether you're watching it live right now or you're gonna watch it in the rewind, make sure that you drop the purple hearts in the comment section. We ain't giving up, We're not giving up on the movement, even though persons are back in power that were saying no FBI, even though persons are back in power that were pronouncing in the manner that they shouldn't have been pronouncing on the case. We still standing in solidarity and making sure that whatever we can do as it relates to justice, no matter what the situation is, justice in the case for Adriana Young. Definitely, that's what we're about over here on Delta 9 Media. We move forward.
I don't molly down, I don't smoke nothing, I drink nothing. I crazy naturally. When I drunk, there's a whole different story. Right?
Big up yourself, Jeffrey. Welcome into the live. Thanks for tuning in.
No. They go to Barbados. This might end up on a sanction list. Right? Are they just so Lola da get the symptoms? Here it is. Lola da get the symptoms and come and do a video about the people just so. Nobody into she nothing. She get a people looking at she.
That wasn't the situation. The video that up on this channel, right? I want y'all take a chance and go back into the playlist and check it out for yourself. The video is up on the channel where she asks persons to put out the content because there was a person that was trailing her and they was using her daughter as the avenue to get close to her. So while they were talking back and forth on the phone with her daughter, they now was trying to figure out, well, not back and forth on the phone, while they came to get their hair done there, right? They came to get their hair done. So they were coming closer to get close to her, but they were using her daughter as an avenue. Her daughter does hair, and they went there to get their hair done. And then they were asking information about Lola while they were there. Her figuring out what's going on, she put the information out, asking that persons would now spread the information on the media because she's afraid of persons that are threatening her life. And that's why she put it out. So it wasn't a situation where nothing was the matter or she just put out the information or just come on the internet just and went into whatever that conversation was that she's going to have. But let's listen some more. I just had to make sure that I find that out because I want persons to analyze what's going on, right? Remember we talk about the fact that it's a high profile situation. So the person that is wanted for it and the person that was arrested for it, we gotta analyze all of that too.
Lola Dahl is y'all know is a paid agent of the Mohammeds, right? Y'all know. This same Lola Dahl here, right? She's a paid agent of the Mohammeds. She been in the yard, behaving bad, run after GRA. She's one of the people that Mohammeds used to put the narrative out there. You understand? Just one of them. So suddenly, she wake up a day just so and start cussing. So people come by she and fool. You sing two fucking songs and automatically become important, but you're still living in the ghetto. There's so much you're gone up. Eh? There's so much you're gone up. A lot of people watch me and they know there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I know the Mohammeds, I ain't sleeping. All me houses everywhere, place, take while, sir. You can't trust them fucking people. I'm gonna do a video when all this done and show y'all security to the max. Gerald, Gravesania insinuated nothing. I don't insinuate nothing. I make it clear as day. I'm showing you. So now Mohammed come back from Barbados. She a day just to do this video. Listen to this video.
Them from where front road laid up, you know, where big mother sconto from a scope out me place this all this walk. The daily community center ground. I mean, like the cameras all over watching the mother scon. The daily community.
You see where these videos get problem? You see where these videos get problem? She got cameras all over watching. And one fucking blurry camera she neighbor got scon. You understand? She even got her own fucking camera to see what happened to she. Yeah, I got to stop with this nonsense, gaffing and bluffing. Fuck yeah, I got to stop. Let this be a warning to the rest of people. It's not nice what happened to nobody should happen to. But any other part of the world, you got to watch your fucking back. Musicians. Here, me watching people like the Muhammad Salou, you know. I got some freaky fans. You understand? They got some people just ain't like you. One of the Beatles, I forget his wee name, is a fan stabby.
Greetings, Desiree. Welcome into the live. Jeffrey, where is the Guyanese citizen $1 billion? Because use a cross, I tell you. I can't believe Guyana going on with all this nonsense. Warren, it's getting crazy, bro. It's getting crazy in GT. It's getting very crazy in GT. Very crazy in GT. Let me hear what the top cops them got to say about this case. Because it's good to get some insight from persons that served in law enforcement for years in our country, for persons that serve at a high caliber in law enforcement, to get insights from persons that serve with integrity, you know what I mean, and persons that you could still relate to, you know, even though they're much more mature than you are, you could still understand certain things. It could still break down certain things the way a person, a regular person in the street could understand when it comes down to law enforcement. I'm talking about the top cops, them are talking about Mr. Conway and I'm talking about Mr. Slow, right? High ranking, high caliber, high integrity. Let's hear some insights that they have to share when it comes down to what's going on in this case right now. And if you haven't already made your way over to Speaking Out, Exposing Corruption and Incompetence, it's right on YouTube and on Facebook as well. So take a couple of minutes when you get a chance, when you're on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to Mr. Paul Slow and Mr. Conway. The name of the channel is Speaking Out, Exposing Corruption and Incompetence. Look, you don't want to miss their lives. Their lives is something different. The schoolyard is full up. Every time I try to figure a shout out on the show, I don't know. They got different type of fan base over there. The schoolyard is full up all 4, 5, 6 hours before the show and all kind of thing. It's crazy over there. Pick up yourself to Mr. Paul Slow, Mr. Conway.
That goes to neck, face, hands, and right leg. But you're classifying it as an alleged incident of discharging a loaded firearm. An alleged incident. First of all, you don't know the meaning of the word alleged. It's an incident. There's no damn alleged incident. It's an attempt murder. That is the classification. It's an attempt murder. This thing should have been attempt murder committed on this person. But then you say alleged incident of discharging a loaded firearm.
So y'all hear how it's being presented already, right? There's already a board whistle out there to anybody taking part in this that look, the person who's reporting this originally might not want it to go all the way. That's just how I feel. Allegedly, it seems like that's the case. Because if you understand certain credentials as it relates to law and stuff like that, right? How could you see something like this? You hear what the top cop is saying right there? They're presenting it as discharging a loaded weapon. But how could you see something like this happen, right? We're gonna go to the footage. How are you gonna see something like this? Something like this go down. And this just discharging a weapon? You understand? This is why I thinking that the way that it's being treated is almost as if a person is putting out a board whistle and saying, listen, X, Y, or Z. Because why? Why would you put out that is discharging a weapon and is not attempted? That's clear. That's clear. You could see clearly that person come to take life. And they premeditatingly came to take life. You could clearly see how they took their time and they walk up, right? They had time to think about it even before that and while they were there as well.
Bullshit is that? What nonsenseness is that? And again, I'll continue to point it out, you know. I don't care. I'm going to continue to point it out to show the unprofessionalism of these people, the incompetence of these people. How in heaven's name, given what you said in the body of the report, you can classify that as a alleged incident of discharging loaded firearm? We haven't got to school or what, man? And I understand the paid Mark Ramatar, the head of the corporate propaganda unit, big bucks to write this shit. But
I don't know how all the women's organizations is not out in Guyana right now about this. And other situations that's making headlines. It's crazy right now. It's crazy right now. And there should definitely be a lot of attention paid to all the details of this case. Because it seems like from the jump as well, they're trying their best to cover up what's going on here. Because if you're gonna present it originally as just a person discharging a loaded weapon, did he aim in the air and hit nothing? Was he shooting in the water? Was he at a range? And was he discharging his weapon in a way that he shouldn't and therefore he was charged? No, he was aiming premeditatedly and attempting to take the life of another human being while she was sitting in a car in front of a house. So how all of that add up to a person discharged? Well, maybe they really top cop them officer.
Even if he did not write it, it is his unit. And there ought to be a system of checks. I've said it repeatedly. It is clear that the people who are writing these things and know what's going on, and they have no way, nobody check, nobody and vetting these things, just put it in the public domain.
See what Linton is saying? Law and order is at its lowest in all of my 60 years plus in life, born and living in Guyana. The law is for the lawless and the soup drinkers. Linton, it's sad that you had to realize that that's the reality of the beautiful nation that you would have lived in for your entire life. It's sad that now, given the fact that this is how they're treating this, persons might be brazen enough to do more of what we just saw, right? Because if a person gets away with this, then guess what? More people are going to see and more persons are going to be emboldened to carry out such senseless acts of violence in the street, in our communities, and all over the place, right? Cheryl is saying Guyana is a dangerous place. No, Cheryl, is a sad reality and a dark reality. Yeah, the area there is so much things, so many things. You see, when these same critics need to definitely get the story straight, there's so much we could analyze from what's being said right there, because we could already see, okay, he might be saying that, well, there's more to the conversation. If we have time, I'm gonna go back to it. But let's hear some more of what the top cops then is saying about the matter.
You put it in the public domain, and it's a release, it's an official release on the police to call this thing alleged incident of discharging a loaded firearm when a person is critical in the hospital as a result of gunshot wounds that were discharged. So to them, there is not attempt murder. There is not attempt murder. Oh, this thing is very upsetting. Very, very upsetting. And then I noted too that, again, to show how, again, I don't know what's really going on, because yesterday they issued a wanted bulletin. And they issue a wanted bulletin now for Paul Davy Jr. called Randall for the same incident, And here now.
Yeah, the issue a wanted bulletin, and last update on this is that he would have turned himself in. So let's see if they had evidence or any information that could really hold anything to have him now be held in relation stating a railway. Let's read some of these comments and see what persons are saying right here. Inshan is saying Guyana is getting really dark with crime, no justice, and the system is broken. 5 more years of the P.P.P. and cover-ups. I'm telling you, it's a sad, sad reality that a lot of persons might have to face. And we're hoping that is not that. Let's not project that. Let's hope that things move differently. Let's project that things would move differently. Let's project that in some way, even if we know that, all right, there's usually the thing that would progress, right? We hope that they don't progress in that manner this time. We hope things could be different in we country, man. Why? You know what I'm saying? It's always got to be that. Why? Now it's just starting, and a lot of persons are already getting victimized. Persons are already feeling threatened. We're going to hear from the highlighter, because it's from Linden to Georgetown. It's not just Georgetown. Persons as well in the heart of the country, all the way in Linden, region number 10, right, is feeling threatened about what's going on. So we're going to hear from the highlighter just now about this.
It's an attempt murder. It's an attempted murder. So it moved from discharging a loaded firearm to attempt murder. That is what they have. But I ain't gonna knock them for not knowing to spell the GAR. But I know.
Lino, I will not go to that country, Guyana, never in life. That should make you not go, Lino, to Guyana. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Even with all that's going on in Guyana, I still would advise persons that might not be, exposed to any of these situations to visit the country. Have your own experience to the country, because note that a lot of situations happen all over the world, right? And persons still find them places as big destinations to visit and locations that they would enjoy the culture and they would enjoy the camaraderie of persons that are not always a part of these criminalities and stuff like that. So, if you were never in Guyana before, I advise that you take a trip. Take a trip like Mashamani time, right? Take a trip around Christmas time. Take a trip around Easter and experience a whole different type of Easter culture, kite flying, and the different types of food and the park and stuff like that, probably August 1st. There's so many beautiful experiences about Guyana. Some things that we're definitely going to highlight soon as well, and make sure that persons understand different things about the culture, different parts of the country and stuff like that as well, that we're going to be broadcasting right here on Delta 9 News. So make sure that you are subscribed so you can see all of them content when we upload it, and we take this channel in a direction that's going to be showcasing a whole lot of other things all over the world. We're going to be showcasing different cultures, heritage, and stuff like that. So make sure you subscribe so that you can be a part of that journey. But right now, we're talking about what's going on with the case with Lola. It's something that we got to make sure that we highlight and pay attention to. Because we're hearing people now They're sending out conversations about discharging a loaded weapon. I don't know what part of we are just see right there is just discharging a loaded weapon. There's so many things, you know. And definitely I see Edmond is saying justice for Adriana. Definitely pick up yourself, Edmond. Thanks for tuning in and being a part of the live. Warren is saying my mother died in 2004. Let me see. I got to come out of Guyana because Guyana was going on with a lot of things and the police involved in a lot of things in Guyana. Warren, big up yourself, King. And definitely around them times there, yeah. And plus that was right after the flood and them thing. Warren, you was glad for making move, right? Cause he say, hey, next thing you know, another flood come, leptospirosis, all kind of thing. But all them things, you know, that was since like what, 20 years ago. So a lot of things more than likely would have changed. Mark is saying, my brother, why don't they arrest the man that unalived Waddle Donna McKinnon and Donna He Road? Mark, that's a very, very good question. More than likely, they probably don't have enough evidence or don't see a reason to if they are able to prosecute that person. Farina is saying, did you people know that the president is going after Travis Chase? Wow. Stifling independent press. Definitely. Look, Farina, make sure you stay tuned in, right? Because we definitely highlighting that on this live right here on Movement Mondays. And we would have put it out before, but we're bringing it back to show you how all of this is adding up. Because right after elections, a number of persons is complaining about being attacked because they would have found themselves in opposition to the winning persons or to the persons that are now in power, allegedly. Allegedly. Let me jump into this.
Them things you can't spell, you pull up a telephone directory or you pull up somewhere, make sure, again, this is an official police release. Like Lewis would have killed these people, you know, CC. First of all, that mistakes like that would have never have been made. You talking about discharging loaded firearm when you're gonna report that a person is critical in hospital as a result of the gunshots? Discharging loaded firearm? That is the level of professionalism that you all have. Man, look, Sisi, let me hear you on this one. Let me hear you on this.
First, let me take you with the Larry Lewis, you know.
They don't got no respect for the persons in the country life. Because when people in the street that's doing them thing is only people linked to certain crime ring is be involved in the crime. See? Bornell is saying there's only people in a crime ring is be involved in certain crime. This is a very good point, a very insightful point. But it might be persons paying people in a ring to do certain things to people who might not be a part of a ring too. There's another thing that could be turned on, Bornell. Pick up yourself. Patrick is saying they only issued a wanted bulletin for Dabby Jr. because Lola mentioned him and the U.S. is watching. I telling you. Who? Hey. Who's this person name, man? This person gotta get timeout, man. Moderators. Who's to refer? To refer, you can't come in this chat with that picture, buddy. You gotta switch out your picture and come back. We gotta time out you, cause you coming with what's that about, man? 1 second, chat. Let me you don't end up on them type of thing over here, buddy. I don't peep you, you know. You think you smart. You coming in with a picture that's saying what you want to say, but you say other things so that your picture gonna appear over and over on the screen with derogatory and disrespectful remarks. Oh, you think you got sense, but what try to do to you? I'll put you on timeout and see if you can change your picture and come back. And if you don't, then we gotta take you out of the live. Because I know the moderators them notice, but that can't flow around in this live here. So these about respectful conversation, insightful conversation, and highlighting trending topics that definitely persons should be updated and stay, you know, enlightened about. We're up on them type of vibration right now, Tafari. You got it for your mates.
I said before in the last episode, a man used some green verbs, and he couldn't get the crime chief work. I remember he said the pleasure is mine, and I remember he said that he's a fatherless child, and how kind of nonsense when he jail the person. But coming back to this shooting, you know, I agree. Is attempt murder a full stop? But then they say nothing. Did they so much shots fired? Did they find any spent shell? Did they find a fragment? And link it there. This.
Damn. Yeah, all your top cops pointing out right there. Top cops is saying when the situation went down with Rondell, rising power and condolences to his family, who more than definitely is still dealing with the trauma of his unaliving, right? When the whole situation went down with Rondell, right? They find a fragment. We ain't hear nothing about no shells. We ain't hear nothing about the conversation as to what caliber weapon was used. We ain't hear none of that. Well, we know for a certainty after hearing reports that all the bullets would have traveled through and no bullets was still a part of, you know, her body. We know that if you reason it out to yourself and you know a bit about weapons, you know that more than likely it definitely wasn't 22 caliber rounds. It definitely more than likely wasn't 38 rounds. So it's probably 9 rounds or something like a 5.6. Hopefully it wasn't 5.6, but probably like a 9mm or something round of caliber weapon that more than likely was used. But we hear nothing about no spent shells being recovered at the scene. And we could clearly see the person they tried to retrieve no shells. They went right up next to the vehicle. Then they had problems starting their vehicle. So, you know, there's so many things about what's going on right now. What do you hear with the top cops them got to say?
This fragment that.
And you see what DJ Ice right is saying? It's sad to know. It's sad, but knowing the person and their connection and the connection he have, nothing will come of that. Nothing will come of that. Who remember the story with his sister when she pulled a weapon on the police? See what DJ Ice right is highlighting right there? There's a lot of things in this situation. A lot. And it's good that person stay updated with it so you could realize just how deep and connected the underworld really is, right?
The gun that was used on some other occasion was used here now, you know. Did they spend any spent shell? Did they do any meticulous investigation? Well, they treated as discharge a loaded firearm, so they must treat it with as a attempt murder, so that they do diligent, teach it with the seriousness in it. Wasn't there any spent shell? Wasn't there a fragment? Remember the other shooting where they find a fragment, a piece of the bullet, and they say, hey, this bullet was fired by the gun used by a security man. Are they doing any real kind of forensic investigation? Yeah? I don't know, you know, they just wishy-washy. Here is it, a woman got shot several times and nobody is whether they find any spent shells or not.
Greetings, Audrey. Welcome into the live. Thanks for tuning in. It's Movement Mondays right here on Delta 9 Media. Movement Mondays on Delta 9 media, right? Now, let's take an analysis of what we would have just heard. And let me realize that in Guyana, you gotta always be aware of your surroundings, as in most places in the world. But especially right now as we're hearing this, 1 second, there's someone calling. Greetings, you're on to Delta 9 Media Live. Greetings, you're on to Delta 9 Media Live. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, greetings, you're live.
When the guy was in the live?
Yeah, man, you're live right now. Almost 1,000 persons listening to us talk live.
When the guy was on the live on YouTube?
I'm listening. Yeah, we're live right now. You gotta mute the song in your background. You gotta mute your background or else you're gonna get a feedback.
You hear me clear?
Yeah, man, I hear you.
You hear me clear?
I hear you clearly, King.
Okay, no, I was saying on this live just now, right? You see, they get a lot of police involved with a lot of things in Guyana.
Yeah.
I see, dog, you do an interview. I just saw here, dog, you do an interview with 2 guys and you call 2 police names. 3 them same 2 police there, they do a lot of things in Guyana. They hear a lot of things. And the government needs to look into a lot of things in Guyana with this police.
Yeah.
They're involved with a lot of things. And when they're done, they put it on 4 people cheering. Yeah, a lot of things, bro. I just know take like I left Guyana 2004, I'm a long time. That's the phantom squad everybody was running.
Hey,
yeah, brethren?
Hey, you got to me was in GT them time and I could tell you. You can't stay on the road when it's late. You gotta go inside. Especially if you're living in certain
Exactly. You check. And a lot of things go on, brethren. It's not you can't really want to chat certain things. If you certain big man and certain things.
Yeah.
2 people are still people cheering. A lot of things going on in GT. Them same big boys.
Yeah.
Let's tell you, bro, a lot of things. We know how Guyana need to investigate a lot of things. Especially with the police, with government them.
Why no?
The FBI them need to come down from Guyana. They need to come down from Guyana.
Yeah. You see the Lola situation made it all the way to TMZ. So persons at international borders is paying attention to it.
And let us tell you something with Lola situation. She's lying about nothing but everything with Lola. They should talk something from the media. Lola know they put a hit on she should know they're going to steal the shit. Right now, please should come out and talk something.
I'm telling you.
Lola know what's going on. A lot of people know what's going on, but it's hard to Lola to come out and start certain things. A lot of things that are going on with Bridget. Many Caribbean living. A 20% or something years they never go home from Bridget. Now they pray for going back. They can't trust nobody back home right now, bro.
Yeah.
I get my brother home. I pray every night for you, pray every night.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't want to come home back in our home. But I don't come home back in the right time, brethren. And I hear people say that, so this guy was shooting Lola. He got P.P.P. people. He never get charged, nothing ever come out of the story. What do you mean nothing ever come out of the story?
That's why I want to know. So it means that if you affiliate allegedly with certain people just like that, you could get away with certain things. You got to mute the background if you're muted. You get no feedback. Yeah, that's real sad. That's a sad reality if that's what's going on the ground, you know what I mean? And persons even more gotta be aware. Yeah.
Why you should father fly to here now? Your father to fly the car, they didn't want to try to kill your father many times. Many times you try to kill your father never go back to Guyana. And your father wants you stop talk certain things from the media.
Yeah.
Because in Guyana, when you talk something from the media, they're going to come to you. And she should know that. But boy, Guyana is a nice country. We not have to take the country to nobody, but Guyana is a really nice boy. But trust me, virgin, Guyana right now is too much of thing right now. Too
Danger
much.
for certain
And the
people,
police them involved with a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I just dig up yourself and listening to your program here.
Yeah, man. Thanks for tuning in, King.
All right, my boy.
Yeah, man. Bless. Yeah, see, people international saying, look, they're willing to come home, but they're just watching and analyzing or taking part on the ground, right? Greetings, you're on to Delta 9 Media Live.
Yeah, good afternoon, my brother.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself.
Looking at the program, I'm terribly hurt as a Guyanese. First of all, give praises to Mr. Parslow and Mr. Conway.
Mm-hmm.
Had the two that still been in the force, I don't think people like whether the shot man or whether Cardi, the commissioner, would have been there. Hats off to those two people. Secondly, these two young men that the police put out bulletin for, wanted bulletin for, they're shooting in Dawson Street. They know it's who doing shooting. They know these two young men did the shooting. Why they don't arrest? No, it's who. Why they don't arrest the people that kill Yawansi Douglas, Dana McKinnon, Dana Herod, Dr. Blair?
Yeah.
They know who these people are. These young men, that the young pope knockers that they killed and light them afire. Why they don't arrest these people? The people with the Lusitano massacre, why they don't arrest them? The Linden massacre, why they don't arrest these people? Why they are harassing black people? And as long as this government is in power, black people they're not eating shit under them. Sorry to say it for your crew, but that's how it is.
A dark reality, King. A dark reality. I telling you. A dark reality on the ground. I see someone was trying to call just now. Let me see if we get that call. Alright, we didn't get that caller, so let's move on with the show. It's Movement Mondays, you know, right here on Delta 9 Media, man. So if you're watching me in the future, or your live will be right now, big up yourself. So many people in the comment section dropping some insightful commentary. They got insightful people calling in, dropping some gems as to, you know, their experiences in the country and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And we just here cruising on a Monday. Onika, thanks for tuning into the live. Blessed Monday afternoon to everyone in the Delta family. Big up yourself, Onika, and thanks for tuning in, right? Patrick is saying this hit was intended by the higher up. Noted this assassin was conducted hours before the self-installed president swearing. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of connections. Definitely, that's definitely a lot of connections to that. There's so much things that persons are looking at. There's so many things that persons are looking at as it relates to everything that's going on the ground right now with the Lola situation and everything else. Randy is saying, it's so shameful that citizens afraid to return to their country for vacation due to the crime and corruption. You better off visiting somewhere else. Listen, I don't want to push that narrative. I don't want to push that narrative that you know Guyana is so dangerous that everyone should you know, be aware and, you know, watch yourself when you're returning and that type of thing. But I must, however, highlight these things so that persons could realize what is really going on with certain situations in the country. As with most places in the world, Guyana got its bad parts, but it definitely has a whole lot of good parts. And it all depends on the way that you interact with certain parts and certain aspects of the country, as with other places, you know. So we want to push that narrative like, oh, be afraid to go to Guyana, this, that, and the third, because that's not the narrative that we're pushing over here. Anybody that know me, know that, you see, when this place start getting like this, it's time for, what is call it, a Jet 2 holiday. When you see this place start getting cold, yeah. So look out for the flight location to start changing up, and a whole lot of different type of content showcasing different parts of the world as well, because as it get cold, and it's Pennsylvania, anybody know about Pennsylvania winter, they know how cold it usually is get, you know. But it's sad that some persons would be afraid though, Randy, for real. It's sad that persons would be afraid of going back home and certain things like that. Jay is saying, Bacchus brothers. Wow. Gemma, welcome into the live, Gemma. Thanks for tuning in. Hi, Sini. A blessed Monday to everyone listening for the first time. Very interesting. We'll keep listening in. Great job, Mr. Delta. Thank you, and thanks for tuning in, all right? Let's get into some more details, because let's take a look at some of what would have happened at the scene on the day with Adriana. It is a video that was slowed down so that we could pay attention to some of the details of what was taking place in a particular aspect. Let's take a good look at this. And definitely, if you're watching in the future or you're watching in the present right now, and you definitely got your purple hearts them ready, make sure that you drop them into the comment section so that everybody would understand that persons are here making sure that they stand in solidarity and said justice, right? For Adriana, justice for Lola, because as we could clearly see, she's fighting for her life right now, right? Because of a senseless act of violence. The man come on a old broke down bike, you understand? I hope, I glad if he bike did break down while he was riding down home stretch or some way. I know everything else would be history after the catchy, they realize that the pistol match, you know what I'm saying, something run over you or something. Them type of thing is one for them, man. They ain't got nothing for do, you know what I'm saying? Nothing to do. Nothing to do, and foolish persons pay them to do it, I tell you. But let's see what's going on right here. Hold on. Caller in. Greetings, you're on to Delta 9 Media Line.
I'm talking about the
Huh?
why can't you sit this for that with me come back in? Governor just come up and go buy a natural. So I'm glad you could keep it on the front burner, brother.
Yeah.
Because to keep it on the front burner, because it's going back here, trust me. This is done. That I am natural death. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself. Greetings, you're on to Delta 9 Media Line.
Yes, brother. I would agree with, I'm not 100%, but I would agree with the guy when he said just now that he was fighting to come home.
Yeah.
You know, it's under this rotten and stinking government that people like Mark BENCHOP, Melly Mill, and others, Richard BURKE, fighting to come to this country under this set of crosses that they put back in Africa. And plenty more people fighting to come. When you got a government that's fighting to come, when you got a government from the 10 years swearing 5 and 6 people dead in a week, what the hell are you doing with them?
I telling you.
So-called government. There's not government, there's a group of murderers. And we need to get rid of them. That's why they don't want A.P.N.U in there. Because they know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So Americans write down a pack of murderers. Right now, what those JAGDEO board they give, and they still got taken as commissioner of police.
Wait. Go back that game. Go back that game, bro. Damn, this caller jump off so quick. I wanted him to point out that piece of conversation there because that really struck a nerve with me. That a person unaliving could be another man board. I telling you, hey, nah, that's crazy. That is crazy type of conversation. You telling you? That is the level there. The no saying justice and dropping the purple hearts. Mike is saying Delta 9. What are your thoughts on the recent video of Adriana conspiracy in her loss of life? Mike is saying recent video on Adriana. Which recent video, Mike? You got tell me which recent video you're referring to. I didn't understand. I understand you're asking, but I don't know which video you're referring to. Alice is saying justice for Adriana dropping in her purple hearts. Oh, who remembers Saturday U.S.A, the family member of him not saw in the senior police superintendent? I'm telling you, Saturday U.S.A was a senior, if I remember correctly, Saturday U.S.A was a minister that was unalive around Christmas time. His family had visited, I think, from overseas as well. And I think someone was hurt or had died in that incident as well. His family members. That's a sad situation. Sad. Mike Delta, what are your... Oh, that's the same thing. This is the first time I'm here. Very interesting. Amanda, thanks for tuning in, Amanda, and thanks for being a part of Delta 9 Media Live. Melinda is saying, but that's true, Delta, because the nonsense that is going on in Guyana. Melinda's a real thing. Me saying, hey, don't think I saying it's not a real thing, you know. I understand how many hurdles and how persons' minds just click when they gotta be in Guyana, right? I do this program, right? I do this program here. So I understand the implications of presenting and highlighting certain details on certain matters, you understand me? And that's why I like living in Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania is open carry and concealed carry. So you always got it on you. Even right now, is on me. You understand? So I understand the implications, and if I were to be in Guyana, I would then now have to have personal security because of the implications that comes with presenting and doing a show like this. So I understand why persons definitely is contemplating 3, 4, 5 different ways to find themselves, you know, a safe and real way to be back in the country because of certain complications. But at the same time, I don't like detour persons that didn't went to the country yet and them think from going and having their own experience. Because their experience can be different to we own, you understand me? Yeah, nobody ain't looking at them in that manner. Or, you know, they ain't exposed in certain way because of certain things. Asaf is saying, yeah, Mike, asking the right questions. When you have wicked government, the people suffer. I'm telling you, that's a dark reality. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already taken a couple of seconds, please take a couple of seconds and thumbs up the live so that everyone will be able to see it in their algorithm, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, because when I check the backstage, I see almost 60% of persons just forget to subscribe sometimes when they're watching the show. And if you're subscribed, you can be a part of the growing family now. We headed to 100K, you know, one of the biggest platforms on YouTube. Definitely bringing all of this updated, trending, and very important information to you, right? every single day. Over 2,000 videos right now on the platform. 2,000 reasons for you to subscribe. So hit the subscription button, but it don't cost you nothing. Me realize that this one officer where foot is so big and tall, you know. I understand why persons is saying allegedly that he's the person that more than likely would have put the body in the pool. You understand me? Because watch it how big and tall and strapping he is over hot lady that was standing next to the other body. And I'm playing this video so persons could stay fresh on some of the details as to how corrupt and how connected a lot of persons that was standing by that door really is. You know? What's going on here, Duncan? Greetings, you're on to Delta 9 Media Live.
Greetings, bro. One thing more I want to say.
Yeah,
you
man.
see Doggy and Fatter. I love Fatter. But you see Doggy and Fatter, they need to watch themselves.
Yeah.
Especially Doggy. Doggy need to keep out of politics. Don't get into politics. Don't keep with Mohammed. Don't keep him. Doggy and Fatter, they need to watch themselves. Especially Doggy. That's what's telling you, bro. I've been there, done that before, and I know what it's saying. Doggy and Fatter, they need to watch themselves. This all I have to say. Doggy need to keep out of politics and let the people politics alone. Big up yourself, bro.
Yeah, man, big up yourself, okay. I'm telling you, the man coming after the presidential doctor, we want to believe the man. We want to see a whole different type of energy in our country. We want to see a different type of vibe. But definitely, you always got to be prepared and you got to be cautious because definitely, you know that there are dangers that lurk. This is some of what went down over there at the Double Day on that day. Slowed down in nice slow motion so we could analyze it and bringing it big on the screen so people could see all the players, everybody that was there. Definitely, if you are wondering who was the hot lady in them thing, it looked like if her and Wetfoot know one another because, or probably he was able to look her straight in her face and everything. So you definitely know who that person is that was standing around the body doing whatever she was doing, the bag and everything. He might, you know, be able to identify more details about that allegedly. But if we continue to see what's going on here. Who's in the comment section? What's the comment section saying? God never sleep. He's like a roaming lion seeking revenge for the unjust. Raquel, big up yourself. Big up yourself, King. That's a powerful point. Jay Thompson. Big up yourself, Jay. Thanks for tuning in. Melinda. Thanks for being a part of the live. Melinda said, and exactly that's what it is. Raquel. Barnell is saying, Delta Guyana is a very beautiful place to live in the sun of sometimes rain, but if you play with fire, you will get burned. I'm telling you, that's usually the case all the time. But Guyana is definitely becoming a place where persons is getting burned more often now, Darnell. People shouldn't be getting burned up like they in front of the yard, you know what I mean? That's something that people definitely should not become accustomed to experiencing and make the norm. And this is why we need to apprehend the persons that are a part of the Adriana Young case and put real charges on people for the case there, real charges on people for what happened with Lola as well. Because if we allow people to think that they could do things like that and get away with it, then more things like that's going to keep happening to people over and over. Next thing you're going to know, you're going to hear persons getting dealt with like the in charge, from different parts of the city. You can't sit down in your car. All type of thing is going to, then you're going to hear reprisals and all kind of thing back and forth. We don't want that type of bloodshed in the nation. Too wealthy, right? Too many other things that persons could be a part of and taking part in that. I remember the last show persons were pointing out that it's certain things that they need to invest in certain communities so that the youths wouldn't take up certain things, you understand? And when you check the community tab, persons will be able to see one of the persons that were arrested and the person that definitely turned themselves in. But we know that the person that turned himself in is already sanctioned by the U.S. So there's way more to that right there, you know? Guyana is a hot mess. I had a lively time regardless. You see? You still enjoy yourself, right, Audrey, when you were there? You'd enjoy yourself, man. And then if you got no real, you know what I'm saying? If you got nothing really going on like that and you're not exposed in certain way with certain things, then you could definitely go and enjoy yourself in GT and have a real fun vacation. Stanley, the picture, tell a lot. Who have eyes will see the dark reality. Shalom, big up yourself, Carlisle. Peace to you, bro. Peace to you and the fam and everybody on that side. Big up yourself. Who me? Thanks for tuning in and being a part of the live. He's the only one with wet pants, legs, and wet almost to the knees. I'm telling you, see how people remembering you by telling you. People ain't forgetting the fact and the details that's going on in this case at all, which is a great, great thing. Denise, thanks for tuning in, Denise. Big up yourself. March. Now vote for it. Sadly, our people would turn their eyes. Greetings, you're on to Delta 9 Media Live. Hello? Hello? Greetings, you're on to Delta 9 Media Live.
Hi, good night, Tony, everyone.
Good night, good night.
What are you really dealing with now?
What we were highlighting is we were slow motioning a video from in front of the double D. Earlier we highlighted some
The A.P.N.U story?
yeah, and earlier we highlighted some details about what was going on with the Lola case, and the top cops them were giving some insights as well. Okay.
I believe so. All right.
Thanks for tuning.
Things that are not supposed to be.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. So now we're gonna jump into what's going on with elections. As we know, elections, right? Elections just finished, right? But guess what? Y'all remember the whole back and forth that one of the hardest politicians in the country had with his party that he was in at that time? Y'all remember what went down with the Honorable Mr. Duncan? But guess what? Who realized that the A.F.C. didn't get any seats this time? So it means that if the Honorable Mr. Duncan was still a part of the A.F.C., who knows if it's because he would have left, but if he was still a part and the situation went down the way it went down right now, it means that he wouldn't even have an option to be a part of nothing that was going on in the house right now, because his party would have been, not a part of the votes that would have awarded them any seats. But let's hear sometimes how things is luck out and work out for your best interest, even when people think they're doing you something, eh? Let me hear what the Honorable Mr. Duncan has to say right here about that.
Nice fixture in your day. And I hope I haven't done anything, to make you all say, I want this video now. I want this video going now. You all know for the whole 5 years, I talk about coalition. That's something that has really inspired me. Coalition politics. I'm very sorry we were not able to pull it together, at the end there. But I made a claim. I said, this is where I want to stand with our PNCR brothers and sisters. I want to stand with our brothers and sisters from the W.P.A and all the other entities. I want to stand with them. Right? And for that, I didn't leave my political party per se. Right? But here is where we were fighting for 5 years, and then you want me to do something contrary to that. So I couldn't find myself going in that direction. And I said, this is where I'm standing up. And I was expelled from my party for that. I was expelled for that from my party. Right? But the Lord works in mysterious ways. The Lord works in mysterious ways. I'm seeing a British politician in my mind's eye who spoke, was it a British politician? About the hidden hand of destiny that guides. The hidden hand of destiny that guides us. Right? Sometimes you think something is for bad, sometimes it's for good. Sometimes it's for good. So the people pitch me off the ship. It's out the place. Pitch me off the ship. Well, the rest is history. The rest is history. I don't want to go into it. Y'all know how it ended. No pun intended. Y'all know how it ended, so I don't want to go further into that. I was pitched off the ship. I'm still here. Resolute. Right. To serve you, the people. You, the people.
Big up yourself. Big up yourself, Mr. Duncan. Definitely one of the hardest working politicians in our country, right? Always dealing with something about the country, always dealing with something as it relates to service to the people, right? So many things going on in the country right now. So many things going on in the country right now. We're hearing a lot more details coming in about what's going on with Venezuela as well, right? A lot more details with that definitely coming up right here on this line, right here on Movement Mondays. But let's hear what the highlight is talking about, because it's from Georgetown to Linden. People complaining about the victimization since certain people take power. Live here, we're going on right here.
As a vex, I didn't even sleep last night because I waited for the place for this morning that I could address some people from the P.P.P who been sending threats at me. No, I want y'all here.
Yeah, we're going on there. So, is Travis, is Dr. Todd, is Highlighter, is Lola Dahl and other people as well, you know. Other people as well. All of that could be a coincidence. All of that can't be a coincidence, man. But leave here, what's going on?
Yeah, share the life. Now, last night, I decided to, because so many inboxes be coming in, it's not everything you could read at the set time. Share the life. Right? Why I make notes of this here? Because I not fucking Brian Max. So, let me go through it slow. Now, I ran through my text last night, and I put up with a man named Ferrier. Roy Ferrier from Linden. A old-time fucking jackass, a old-time bad boy. Right? Sending me threats, a P.P.P member. Big strong Roy Ferrier sending the highlighted threats. We gonna do, and we not gonna do, right? Now, I could remember when the P.P.P, you know why, listen to me, you know why I tell him I tell you a comment this morning, so I hope he tune in, that he could hear exactly what I'm saying about he. And just so you know that there, by the Linden to Georgetown Park, so he could reach me there too, right? Good. Listen carefully. I had a show a few days ago where though a set of names been mentioned. I didn't disrespect nobody, but I mentioned some names and like he felt annoyed because his name was one of the names that mentioned. And he decided to send me a threat. Right? But you know the threat we do, it gonna worsen the whole situation. Yeah, I share this life. Now, I happen to run through my phone and I see the thing, and I right away, I send you a voice note. I send him a voice note, and let you know that, yo, certain threats is not for me. Right? Certain threats is not for me. I don't care how bad you're bad, where you used to do, where you used to be. This fucking time is not a long time. This time is not a long time. So here I'm going to tell the P.P.P members now, all they are scunt who get me a fucking mind. All of y'all who get me y'all mind, here I'm telling y'all scunt now.
Well, I want to apologize for the harsh language, ladies and gentlemen, that the highlighter is using to present, you know, right now. But you gotta understand, he's feeling threatened, and persons are definitely presenting harm to the brother. They're calling in and saying, listen, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And he's just now trying to let persons know that, listen, man, this is what's going on. So if you hear anything or you see anything, this is why. So let me listen to what our brother got to say, and let me don't judge the expletives too much, and I apologize for the platform, alright?
Y'all could line y'all fucking self up.
Greetings, you're on to Delta 9 Media Live.
Yeah, good night, Delta. You know, it's not good to threaten people, right?
Yeah.
But what I want is, I want to speak on the election, the positive part of it.
Yeah.
First thing, they need to have a new list of eligible voters. A new list, you hear me?
Yeah.
That's number one. and they need to train persons to work election day. They have to be trained. I worked last election in Antigua, so I know what I'm saying, right? They have to be honest. You understand? You can't have cheaters working election day. GCOM, they have to get their act together and be honest too. You understand? And next thing, voters need to go by the rules. Number one, no phone allowed when going to vote. You understand?
No phone or other devices that could take or other recording devices. Put in the piece, guy. No guy needs to say it again, right? Yeah, or other recording devices like phone, like your watch, like your shades.
And so next thing too, oh God, I lost in my train of thought. The next thing too, they're supposed to, have, as I said, illegitimate voters, not people just come in the country and jump and vote. You understand?
Oh yeah,
it's not like that.
Definitely.
No dead people on list. Yeah. And next thing too, some of them, they don't have no respect for the media personnel. When they ask questions, they're embarrassing the media personnel. That is wrong too. You understand?
Yeah.
And so we got a free and fair election. This election was not free and fair. Okay, so I'm going to stop there for now. Okay, bye.
All right, thanks for calling me. See, your person still complaining about the system not being free and fair and a whole lot of other things as it relates to the elections. Well, it's time now for persons to start getting those things in place. It's time we start getting the voters list in place. It's time that we start figuring out how we're going to implement the system of biometrics or some other system that could make sure that it is free and fair and that the system don't take so long to tabulate. What's going on with them, man? Why we system taking so long and Jamaica system is much faster and already? Greetings, you're on to Delta 9 Media Line.
Hi, good evening. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great, and yourself?
I'm okay. Hey, no man. Listen, man, I want to ask one question.
Yeah.
I want JAGDEO and Ali answer me this question.
Yeah.
Okay? What are the people, the self-vote there, okay? The Cubans, the Venezuelans, the Brazil, and who more? I want the test put all the police sites, right? They should have camera, right?
Yeah.
And see how much people, them people that step out for them, how many people are going in there and vote.
I'm telling you. And the thing is this, right? As we analyze all of the information, there's so much other things as well that persons are complaining that, is definitely suspicious about what went on with the elections,
Okay. Then to go to the cameras, everybody that's gonna shoot video. From time they can hurry, it's one or two black people who are good in there. You didn't see much Indian. Okay?
Yeah.
Was one or two people going in. So where is those people? Yes, take such a crowd in the voters' place.
Yeah. So you had a chance to see the swearing in ceremony?
Me? Guys, not me, boy. I got 10 hats, me go. And nigga, people don't live with other nations. Sorry. As a black woman, me not police.
Okay.
So that unfair person, right?
I guess.
Alright.
Alright.
But I've read and then, like, there was a girl named from the forest movement. She thought that had got she had to see. She had met no sir.
Yeah.
She turned up, she got to see. Well, it means she's only interested in herself, right? She's interested to fight for the people.
It's important.
Thank God I get to see. What do you mean, though?
It's important that we still make sure that we stay abreast with everything we're going on. Even though it's going to be a hard couple of years for the opposition, given that they have such a small amount of seats in comparison to the persons that are in power right now, it's still important that we pay attention to everything. And we know why? Because the government is a government for the whole of Guyana. Even though sometimes we might see the situation happen to where they might not be dealing fairly with the entire country, there's still a government for the whole of Guyana. So you gotta make sure you pay attention to what's going on with the two. Just my views.
Three.
Yeah.
They should have never done a swearing going on. They should have boycotted. Approved. Boycotted.
I telling you.
Okay? All the parties should have come together and boycotted. They want to play police. Show them who's police. Boycotted.
But you could have seen that persons were kind of conceding and saying, all right, we didn't get the outcome we wanted. We heard that from Mr. Mohammed first when he said they didn't get the outcome they wanted. And then we heard, the Honorable Mr. Aubrey Narky came out and he also presented as well. And he said, listen, this is the amount of seat. This is the, we didn't get everything that we wanted in this time. We're going to come stronger and regroup. So we already realized that
the next election.
Yeah.
There is big factor reality. That's what the tip said like this, huh? That's why Mohammed come on BP.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're going to continue this conversation definitely on another line. Thank you for calling in and for definitely sharing those insightful commentary with us. And you have a great rest of the day, all right?
You too. Bye.
Yes. And what were we? We were listening to the highlighter, and the highlighter was definitely exposing certain details about what he's been facing on the ground. Persons calling, threatening him, and certain things. Oh, not a caller calling him right now. Let's hear what this person has to say quickly. Greetings, caller. You're on to Delta 9 Media Live. Hello?
Yes, good evening to you, my brother. How are you? Happy Monday to you and all my black brothers and sisters.
Big up yourself, Flash.
I guess you know this voice, right?
Yeah, man. Thanks for tuning in. What's going on?
Fine. I know this voice?
Yeah, man. Flash. What's going on?
All right, good. I agree with that same caller, that sister. You see, this is what my grandmother teach me. You have to treat people the same they treat you. Because nobody better than nobody in the world. We breathe the same air. Our do the smell. We feel pain. And most of all, God make all of us blood red.
Yeah.
That each one of us blood could save each other.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if you could understand from God.
Yeah, man, I understand what you're saying.
You know, when P.P.P. them swear, the first day them go into parliament, the P.P.P. president 2020, they lock the coalition them out of parliament. I don't know if you could remember that. And what they did, they stopped them from even going in. And I'm saying, so the opposition them, there was armed, was opposition there, yeah. That the opposition got tell them that, oh, yes, you are the president. You done so already. You done, but the thing is this, you see, they love to slap black people, and black people love to turn the other cheek and tell you what, we will never show our support of them and leadership. Let me remind people what that girl said. She said, I will never do that. And she used a C word. Because of the loyalty to the party, we will never bother of the party. And today we see a video.
Yeah.
One of the supporters of P.P.P. called a black boy slave. We said, look at that. Slave. We said, look at that. All those who vote for P.P.P. and win, them vote to be our slaves. Like they don't realize that because they're going to call them our slaves until another 5 years. I want to ask you a question before I go for your program.
Yeah, man, listening.
Did you see last week Friday with the program with Mr. Winston Jordan? Short, yes or no?
When he was on Kadaki?
Yes.
I might have listened to a part of it. I mightn't listen to the whole thing, but I might more than likely catch a part. As usually try to tune in to Kadaki as much as I can, especially when Mr. Jordan is on.
Right. Yes, it's very important for you to watch everything because it is good, the bad, and the ugly in this world. And you will learn from all as a young politician coming up and a social media person. Yeah. I object to it, my brother. The part is a good thing and bad thing. But the part, what I object to it is when he said that my leader must not return back to Parliament. My leader must put young people. My leader must put ABC name and call ABC name. But what I'm trying to say, that when you give out that detail for who my leader must put in Parliament, you will have a chaos and my own chaos of war again because if my leader input those names you call, and he put other names there, it will cause a problem in the party against the policy. Mr. A.P.N.U nothing gone wrong. And Mr. Finance Minister called them because you know we can qualify. This is what people don't understand, my brother. You tell me if there's something wrong, I said. Thank you very much. I'm listening to you.
Big up yourself. Thanks for calling me, Flash. I could definitely understand why that might not be the best time for to present in that manner. But to be honest with you, I don't want to speak on it until I get a chance to actually listen, right, to the whole thing. Then I could really give my views on it. Because I didn't get a chance to listen to the whole thing yet, Flash. Like I was saying, I probably listened to a part of it, right? But I probably didn't listen to the whole thing yet. So when I get a chance to listen to the whole thing, then I'm gonna give you my views on it, right? You can call back and say, hey, you listen to it at Delta, and we can talk about it. But for right now, most I could say it might not be the best time because elections just happen and then things. But let me see you when I listen to it. Greetings, you're on to Delta 9 Media Line.
Delta, I watched the inauguration, right?
Yeah.
And if you see the people, then they walk from the State House to the seawall, right?
Yeah.
And they had the Earth Riders. They had the Outriders with the motorbike. And they had the touchdown aircraft, I think 2 touchdown aircraft. And if you see these people, but something I observed, not being racist, because I am not. I did not see plenty black people. I see a lot of Indians. And I was saying, wow. But I watch everything. Okay, bye.
I tell you, Delta 9 Media. Movement Mondays right here on Delta 9 Media. Let's get into what our brother Conan was highlighting to us about the dangers that he's facing on the ground right now, because like the victimization already start. Like this victimization already starting. Y'all see what's going on? Could it be a sudden coincidence that something went down with Lola? Here with Lola said during elections time, and I played early in the video when she was talking certain things against certain people. Next thing you know, something up with Lola. Something now people threatening highlighter. Then we're gonna hear from the Honorable Miss Brooms, and she's gonna be highlighting certain things that happen to people that's a part of her party. And then they got other people as well complaining about victimization right after we went down in the elections. Let's jump into this and hear some details from our brother Conan Marshall, also known as the highlighter.
And y'all could come down now at the fucking at the park, and you could come and reach with the highlighter face to face. All y'all who feel that y'all got something against me, y'all could arm me. I'm giving y'all the opportunity now. If y'all content come now, don't come nothing at all. Don't come at all. Right? So, come now as a talk on the live that people could see that y'all come and y'all confront me, because y'all have been sending y'all threats to me. So, here gonna happen this man. They're gonna make things fucking worse for y'all. Now, Mr. Roy Ferrier, who was some old-time fucking jackass bad boy, I'm making things worse for your Ferrier, because I want you come. I want your scum come. Because I tell you something. I know Brian Max can't take no fucking... Let me tell you something. I is not Brian Max who can take no cuff and come back on no fucking Facebook for sure critics cuff me. You can't cuff fucking me. You can't come 10 feet close to me. Here I tell you this fucking morning, yeah? Big strong stupidity, jackass fucking Ferrier. Here I telling you this fucking morning, yeah? You can't come 10 feet in front of fucking me. I said it loud and clear. So when the P.P.P. Galicia come 10 feet in front of me, that means control come for confront me. Yeah, I telling you, you cannot come 10 feet in front of fucking me. 10 feet I give you a scunt. If you feel like fucking playing, I'm going to be the park, then no. Come down fucking stairs. I'm going there now. You come downstairs, I'm going there now.
Y'all see how powerful Lola energy is? Y'all hear how highlighter saying, like, highlighters singing apart from Lola song while he's talking to certain person about something that's affecting you in that manner. Y'all don't know one of Lola's most popular tune is Come Downstairs. You hear highlighters saying right there? Big up yourself, Lola.
Because let me tell you something. If y'all feel that y'all is the only fucking party could send people fucking threats, here I tell y'all this morning. Keep the highlighter out. Because
Greetings, you're on to Delta 9 Media Lounge.
Hi, good night.
Good night, good night. Hello?
Hi. Good night.
Yes, good evening. You're on to Delta 9 Media Line.
Hello, you hear me?
Yes, we're hearing you clearly.
Yes. You know, one thing I want to say that, you know, like, I don't know what something is going on in Guyana. Guyana need a lot of prayer. We need to come together and pray for Guyana. I'm telling you. Yeah, I just want to, you know, like,
Hello? Caller, you there? You're breaking up. Or you was off the phone calling line. You gotta mute the background because you might be causing a feedback.
I don't know
what is
going on, but I'm gonna keep praying for Guyana.
Yeah, it's important
I'm gonna
that we
keep
hold
praying for Guyana. Guyana need a lot of praying.
Yeah. It's sad what's going on the ground, right? Look at how our brother in Linden has to be now dealing with a situation that it shouldn't be, you know? Election is passed, persons, you know, would have already chosen the government that should be in there for the whole country. Why persons can't be in opposition? Why a person can't have an opposing political view and still be safe in the country? Who me saying come downstairs, I tell you, hey, you see, that's the thing, right, that we was talking about, that one of the scholars on mind control was pointing out. What did this do? One of the 4 keys to mind control, right? Chase Hodges. Chase Hodges is the name of the person, Mr. Chase Hodges. Right here on Movement Mondays, we gotta highlight this little piece of information. It's all about focus, authority, tribe, and emotion. When you get a chance, Google search it for yourself, you can see. Mr. Chase Hodges is talking about some or if not some 4 keys to mind control. Focus, authority, tribe, and emotion. So they snatch your focus, right? With who went down with Lola. And they establish who's the authority. Because we are already getting to the point where we're saying bye with the people who's involved in this. Nothing might come out of this, right? And then we know that a particular tribe of people or a particular demographic of people is going to be most affected by this, right? And then it's going to give us a particular emotion, an emotion of fear, an emotion of loss, an emotion of grief, right? 4 elements of mind control. And if you want to learn more about this, you could check it out on YouTube or on Google. Google Mr. Chase Hodges, 4 keys to mind control. Big up yourself. Movement Mondays right here on Delta 9 Media. Let's hear what this caller has to say right now. Greetings, caller. You're on to Delta 9 Media line.
Delta.
Big up yourself.
My thing is, I got a question for every guy that why is it that only when the P.P.P. is in power, all is killing and all this stuff? And when the A.P.N.U power, the last time for a couple of years they were there, nothing was happening. So our question should be to each other, what is going on? Why is there so much killing on the P.P.P.?
Yeah.
Guys really need to check yourself. It's like if they're in a spell or something and they don't understand what's going on. I heard a young fellow last night said he's in the P.P.P. and he said, oh, we get free education. But you see, an uneducated nation is an ignorant nation. He didn't know, and his family could tell him that free education is part of the Constitution. And it's P.P.P. that took it away.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 1994.
That's crazy.
People, I don't understand. The nation is very ignorant. Very ignorant.
And see, the thing is that sometimes it's good that we could be, informed about these things, because sometimes it's not just that person willingly want to be ignorant about it. Sometimes it's just that busyness. Sometimes there's so much poverty and so much frustration in their situations that they got to deal with, that something like they didn't even got the chance to really catch up on. So it's good that they could hear them thing right now. They got more than 1,000 people that was just updated with that piece of information. So
man. Yeah. The first time I call in your program, I'll watch every day. Every day I look at your program. Everything.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
All right, brother. Have a good evening.
All right, you too. Thanks for calling. Greetings. You're on to Delta 9 Media line. Well, it seems we would have lost that caller. But I think they're going to call back. I think the caller is gonna call back. But let's listen some more to what our brother is saying before we jump into what Miss Brooms has to say and some other situation that we're gonna hear coming in from Miss Robin as she exposed some of what's going on with the Honorable Mr. Todd as well. A lot of persons talking about the victimization that they're facing right now right after the elections. Greetings, you're on to Delta 9 Media Line.
Yeah, good evening, brother. I just watching your program right now on the TV.
Yeah, man.
And I see you guys I've been enjoying you guys' program, but the problem is in Guyana right now, but as
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, man, we the right here. We listening to you.
Oh, why anybody talking? Anyway, yes. Actually, I was trying to say that, it's sad to know that former, now deceased Electoral Board, legacy just went down the drain after this last election. And it's, it's that a lot of black people, I don't know if their parents and grandparents never educated them on what the P.P.P was before now. They run away the idea that the P.P.P do so much for them, but the P.P.P, the P.P.P never had the luxury and the money or the finances to do whatever the P.P.P doing now. So all these young black people around the places, they carry away with what's going on. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's crazy, man. It's just that we have to all come together and pray for the country. And these black youth that decide to shift course and go on with the P.P.P, they need to come back home and just find out what the story is,
There's a lot of information that they definitely could be updated with, right?
Yeah. Because what is National Source, right? National Source was a good area for these young black guys. I was a member of the National Source back in the days, in the 70s, 80s, right? And we came out successful and we do a lot of good stuff, but the people in National Source, all these cooperations, the P.P.P gets rid of all these things. That's why a lot of these black people, roaming the streets, committing crime and all these nonsense,
Yeah.
But we got to pay for them still, they don't know better, That's all I have to say, brother.
Yeah. Big up yourself, King. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, man, respect.
All right, have a good one. See, persons are definitely calling in and saying, look, there's so many things that young people like myself and others could be updated with, a lot of information that we might not know. Certain good things like national service and different things that was a part of the community that was snuffed out, that's causing a lot of this that we're seeing going on right now. Our brother Conan highlighting some of the things that he got to deal with in Linden.
I'm more fucking dangerous more than y'all, friend. So let me talk, Mr. fucking Ferrier. No. Y'all taggy scunt. Taggy. Ever say no, Mr. Ferrier? You are one of the P.P.P persons that make the fucking P.P.P lose the elections in Linden. Make you skunting your Linden. Let me break it down fine. Because I'm going to fix your fucking business. And when I done, like how the P.P.P don't chase your mother skunt away from the party, they're going to chase you away completely now. You and the rest of a few y'all who destroy the P.P.P repetition in this fucking Linden. They got another party. We had two major fucking parties who used to be running. We had two major parties. We used to be running and contesting. The P.P.P was after this Linden for decades. And y'all ain't getting it. Y'all remember? Y'all was after this Linden for decades. And y'all ain't getting it. And the people of Linden maintain one thing. We're not going to give the P.P.P to Linden to P.P.P. You know why? I always say one thing, P.P.P members. There's nothing wrong with the P.P.P party. Because it's just one letter from the alphabet pronounced 3 times, P.P.P. There is nothing wrong with your party. What's wrong with your party is the people that y'all have been inviting in your party. Some fucking bullies who feel they could run on this tongue of Linden and threaten fucking people life. These are the people that will break your fucking party. So here I'm gonna tell y'all something that this morning. No, I'm not left it for this. I left it for this morning. I'm talking to this morning because I'm gonna address the P.P.P party tomorrow morning. But addressing the members now. If y'all feel y'all talk fucking Ferrier, I want to hear everything I'm saying. Because from this morning, Lee make a decision if he want to come and confront me as he said or not. Because me taking no fucking threat. I let the world know that I've been threatened by one of the P.P.P members.
So you got a chance to hear it right there from our brother, the highlighter. Some of the things that he got to face right now, buddy. Some of the things that he definitely got to face right now. On the ground. After elections, all of the going on. Plus, we hear right now from the Honorable Miss Brooms and some of the situations that she's facing right after elections. Different party, different people, all part of the opposition, all claiming different kinds of victimization allegedly. All of this can be a coincidence. All of this could be a coincidence, Delta 9 family. I can jump in the comment section just now and read what persons are saying. And definitely the numbers on the screen. If you feel free to call right in on WhatsApp or call on the regular number as well. And you can definitely let persons hear what your views are about what we're presenting right here on Movement Mondays with Delta 9 Media. Let's listen to what the Honorable Ms. Brooms is saying right here now.
From the president taking oath yesterday, but from clips that I've seen all about, I don't think that what I heard, I'm treating it as an allegation, but today's Monday, and Neil would be going to work. And like I mentioned to you, you know there's got mischief all around. But somebody that works there at the hospital reached out to me in disappointment that the candidate and the person that was responsible for Region 6 in the ALP, that they were asked to prepare a letter for him to transfer him with immediate effect from the New Amsterdam Hospital to Blackbush Polio. And the reason given is that since he claims a politician, they're not going to fire him. But that is not possible for him to travel every day from New Amsterdam to... I am very rested. And you see, I'm speaking about Stanley. I was to call you this morning. And the reason for transferring him to Blackbush Polio is that he can't manage and he leave the work. So I see Stanley out here. Stanley, I was to call you if that is true. I want Stanley to send me that letter because that is not a part that we are going to allow. We believe in the rights of people and workers. And we are not going to sit idly by as a movement on matters like this. And so if it is true, I'm hoping that when Stanley get to work, they call him Neil. The young lady said Neil. I was like, who Neil? Neil? I know him as Stanley. Get to work this morning. He's returning back, resuming work off of leave and such a letter. So anybody know the regional health officer there? I was told as a female down at the New Amsterdam Hospital, you can convey that this level of victimization is one that would be very, 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 very regrettable by all, because we are not going to wait. We're going to take these matters one by one. We're going to write president. We don't know who's the minister of health. We're going to start to compile and put a chart as it relates to these things so that when we speak, we come from a standpoint of facts. So I'm hoping that it is just a rumor. I am hoping that it was just a conversation and this is not the reality. So Stanley, I noticed you out here in the live. Such allegation, I don't know if you heard about it, but I don't want you to mention on the live, but I wish you well going to work this morning off of your leave. It was definitely a pleasure meeting and working with you, all the persons around us country. We've had persons calling from near and far, even in the diaspora. So blessings to all of you. I want to encourage in good faith, Guyanese, because, you know, we start off on the same foot again. In good faith that when things happening, we look at serious matters, very serious matters. One, in this case, where Lola is battling for her life, you know, her loved ones and family and fans and persons. We're all hoping for her to come through and to come through in one piece, you know. And people would choose to ventilate and carry these matters into every corner of the drainer. Because, you know, it's social media and everybody feel they have a right and they could do this and they could say this and they could say that and all of that. But I want to caution us that these matters we treat with them, and we treat with them not only with respect, but we be responsible, okay? Because these matters, it could spiral out of control. The police doing an investigation, allow the police to conduct their investigation.
Definitely. So much going on the ground, and we got a chance to hear right there from the Honorable Miss Brooms. She was highlighting some details about persons in her party as well, having to face certain levels of victimization, allegedly, right after elections, right? Right after the manga get transferred. How we gonna make it to travel them distances, man? Hmm? How he's gonna make it to travel them distances to get to work? That's sad. So that means now you gotta know, start to figure out a whole different situation, even though he's qualified in that industry, right? Good that he's calling names in case anything happened to him. You see, Audrey, big up yourself and thanks for tuning in. Audrey's pointing out, you see, very insightful commentary section. Because it's good that we're able to even highlight it right now for more than 1,000 persons to be able to see what our brother's going through. More than 1,000 persons to be able to see what our sister's going through. And she's saying that her party member had the experience. And we're able to highlight certain details as it relates to what's going on with the case with Lola, right? We heard from the top cops them that they are already just claiming that the person just just pretty much unloaded a firearm, right? They didn't aim it at anyone. It's not clear that it was an attempted unaliving of a person. All of that we saw in the video, and none of that was a part of the report thus far. So we've done seeing certain whistles going off. Now we're gonna hear from Miss Robin because she's gonna highlight for us certain things that's going on with other persons that is alleged victimization right after elections. All of these things can't be a coincidence, man. All of these things is a coincidence. It can be. Do you hear what Miss Robin got to say?
We notice a few threats. People have been threatened. I see they won't come after Dr. Dexter Todd. They won't come after him. But I don't think that's the wise thing for y'all don't do any. I don't think that's something wise y'all would want to do, to go after Dexter Todd or nobody from the opposition. I don't think that is the best thing for you guys to do. You P.P.P members and supporters, y'all claim y'all win the election free and fair. Whoever supported y'all with this free and fair thing, and then y'all got y'all GCOM and everything that's supporting y'all and whatever. Do what y'all got to do and go along about your merry way. Don't go Don't go and, okay, mommy, don't go and want cause trouble and pick trouble. People talking about who won't got gun and who gonna shoot like bird and all of these things. Y'all don't go after people because it ain't gonna be nice. The frustration of people is gonna creep in eventually when their backs are against the wall. Fully. Unison. You understand? Don't get your supporters and them threatening people and y'all want to go after Todd and y'all want Humo. Y'all don't do it, because I'm telling you, comrades, don't do it. Leave it alone. Hi, Vereen. Thank you. Leave it alone. Nobody can say that A.P.N.U and warn y'all. Nobody can say that A.P.N.U and tell y'all. Some of y'all went ahead and listened to foolish people who tried to bring us down, who tried to kill us and tear us down, who, listen, some of y'all got ears to hear stupidness, so you act on what you hear. We need to pray against that spirit of deception.
So much, from Dr. Todd to the highlighter, to what happened with Lola, right? To what's being presented by the Honorable Ms. Brooms that happened with her party member being transferred, so now more than likely my girl left the work. And it's just a couple of days since elections, and all of this already taking place. But guess what? As the flight goes to some international boundaries now, we're going to get into some conversation about what's going on with these warships, what's going on with this new situation that's presenting itself right on our borders, right on our doorstep, as it relates to the U.S. warships in the Caribbean Sea and Venezuela and everything else connected. Let's hear right now from Mr. Fred Carbin, one of the most insightful persons as it relates to international politics. Let's hear some of what was shared in one of their more recent panels.
Trinidadians who think that being on the siding with the U.S. is going to help to clean up their country.
Well, I will say this. There is nothing wrong with siding with the United States of America if you want protection.
Okay.
However, the misunderstanding by the average man on the street in Trinidad, as well as some politicians who believe that the United States is there to protect them in some form or fashion, is a delusional enterprise in itself, simply because nobody bothered to take the time during the Biden administration to actually investigate what was really happening geopolitically in the Caribbean region, that was being the architecture of what was being put in place in the Caribbean region by Caribbean leaders themselves, who were being instructed from within the OECD and the Biden administration to create the problem within Venezuela, to build the narrative for the regime change that we see now being implemented, and use Trinidad as the staging point for illegal immigration, weapons trafficking, narco trafficking, and the trafficking of human organs.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the United States of America reinforced this position quietly, without publicizing it, by by fomenting the Guyana Venezuela dispute. And they used the Prime Minister of Barbados to do it.
Yes.
The Prime Minister of Barbados was the one that kicked the whole shebang off the edge of the cliff and started the fomentation of the Guyana Venezuela dispute. the United States.
Yeah, all here going on there. All of the could be normal. The fact that, yeah, hear who name calling in this, it's not the same person we were conversating about that was allegedly exposing certain techniques that she might have used, right, to create this controlled opposition in Barbados, right? Big up to everybody in the beautiful nation of Barbados right now. But there's certain things that we definitely got to speak about as it relates to who we just heard right there. Right? So all of this back and forth that we see going on, could it really be that that was the card that was played? What y'all think about it? Drop it in the comment section. Call it in. The numbers on the screen right now. Definitely some intricate details for us to investigate as it relates to what's going on in our international borders. Thanks to every single person that's in the live right now. Loretta is saying, big up yourself, Loretta. Thanks for tuning in. Loretta is saying, Burnham's son-in-law always wanted power. At one time, he had wanted to be the opposition leader, but he didn't get enough votes. Then he was with the A.F.C. I'm telling you. You see, all of these things, more than 1,000 persons is being updated with insightful details as to the political arena and the players and certain things that some persons might not even remember, right? That would have went down. But we're listening right now to Mr. Fred Corbin and Andrew Tucker, some insightful commentary that is very, very much important that we pay attention to, because it's all about what's going on right now with this conflict that is pretty much bubbling up and is getting to the pitch where a lot of persons lost life so far. It's almost more than 10 persons on a life thus far. You hear one ship was blown up and stuff like that. We're going to hear from an international news syndicate as well about what's taking place right here on Delta 9 Media Movement Mondays. So make sure that you thumbs up the live so that everybody will be able to see what's going on right here with this.
States quietly followed through by installing no less than 16 CIA forward operating locations on the Guyanese Essequibo, Venezuela border. Mm-hmm. These bases were used to recruit Venezuelans who were fed up with the U.S. inspired socio-domestic issues in the country to go into Venezuela. Guyana was used as a conduit for mercenaries to be imported into the Venezuelan country via the Guyanese border in order to be able to foment unrest within Venezuela, and then to bring about the increase in the Tren de Aragua release through corrupt military officials that Maduro still does not have control over, and use Trinidad as the operation center for human trafficking into the United States of America, weapons trafficking, murder, and extortion. And that is precisely what happened under the P.N.U government in Trinidad and Tobago, and precisely what was fomented by the Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Amor-Motley. And understand one thing very clearly. The evidence and these facts were put before President Trump, and he was see the documentation which has been gathered by Russian intelligence within Venezuela, there will be a tribunal within 2 weeks.
But Marco Rubio, when the CELAC, the Caribbean community of the Community of Caribbean States and Latin American States, they actually challenged Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, that if they are not suggesting that Nicolas Maduro, for example, is not, all the allegations leveled at him, they're not saying that some of them might not be true. What they're saying is that they should go through the right process, through the legal processes. Rubio is saying, no, whatever the president says, that is the final word. The United States does not have to depend on the United Nations, nor on any inter-American criminal court or whatever. The U.S. has the final say. Now, the U.S. therefore is not there to protect Trinidad and Tobago then, you'd agree, Fred?
Yeah, I'll hear some of these details, buddy. Yeah, hear what's going on, So much underhandedness. You see what Paulette is saying? She is wicked, right? Paulette is saying she is wicked. I'll money getting all of them confused, right? Money make the change up. It's so sad. It's so sad that is all of this going on. And it's good that persons are right here. More than 1,000 people are able to be updated with these details that so many might not have heard about before, or even if they were, it's good to get a rewind, a refresher on some of what's being said right here by Mr. Fred Corbin and Mr. Andrew Tucker. I'm going to ask that if everyone right now is not subscribed, that you take a couple of seconds and subscribe, because I see persons in the comment section saying that they didn't get the notification. So make sure that you subscribe and you turn on the notification bell so that YouTube will send you a notification every single time this flight is taking off, right? Thanks for tuning in, Divine Butterfly, and thanks for being a part of the live. There's a number of things that we spoke about before, but you could pull back and you'll be able to be updated with some of it. Definitely we spoke about Lola. We had some conversations about different things that's going on as it relates to persons being victimized in the country right after elections. A real interesting presentation in the beginning. You could check it out. Let's continue with these details right here.
You know, and I want to read those of you who might not understand an expression given by Henry Kissinger, who was a former Secretary of State, in which he says, it might be dangerous to be America's enemy, but to be America's friend is fatal.
That's correct.
Is fatal. So when we think that we are on the side of the United States, it appears that they're doing well for us. But eventually, down the road, we're going to understand that it is going to be to our death. And that is something that the Trinidadians have to understand. And I've been saying to them, they have to look at, as you have explained, Fred, the root cause of the problem. If they explore the root cause, then they will be able to understand that I am not here suggesting that Nicolas Maduro is innocent and that he should be treated as a saint. We're suggesting that diplomacy should be the way forward, and not that you're just going to send military and take out a government that, without any form of democratic processes. That is.
Yeah, because a war that close to Guyana would definitely affect us in some real adverse manners. You don't want that to happen, because they got a militia that, to me, I think is way more than the population of Guyana that they could easily use to infiltrate the borders and the country that they've been wanting to infiltrate for a while now, right? So if there's open warfare in the territory, you're going to have a lot of persons, you're going to have a lot of refugees running to all different directions. And one of the easiest directions that has a lot of connection right now is Guyana, right? So we wouldn't want that to be going on, not to mention the dangers of open warfare going on, of persons could possibly getting hurt and all types of other things that we wouldn't want to be going on in our region. So definitely we don't want to see no full-blown invasion and no war going on. Because who knows how long it's going to last for? Who knows when that's going to done? You understand? Who want to deal with them thing, man? We never had these situations before in my lifetime going on this close to Guyana before. We got warships and all of these things. I don't remember it. I don't know if somebody else remember an occurrence like this. Definitely drop it in the comment section, but I don't remember nothing like this going on in my lifetime before.
My understanding, that is my opinion. I'm not sure what you think, but I know what you think, Fred. Let's move into, how do you think, Fred, how do you think the rising military presence in the region will affect countries like Jamaica, Guyana, Haiti, and beyond, the Latin American and the Caribbean in general?
Well, we have to look at it in the context of what is the United States of America looking to achieve by placing military forces in the Caribbean region. First and foremost, the United States of America only deploys military.
You understand, right? Ian is saying, I now see why Barnum did not want to explore the isle which he knows that we had. Because it's all of these lurkers and he done analyzing, look, we don't got certain military might to protect certain wealth that we would then gain at that time. And then with the players at that time, could that be one of the reasons why they had different things in place to help to militarize the population a bit more, Ian? What do you think? Drop a comment or call it in. But let's listen some more of what Mr. Fred and Mr. Andrew saying right here.
Forces when it wants to gain a geopolitical position.
Right.
And the geopolitical position that is at most risk right now in the entire Caribbean region is not Venezuela. Because while Venezuela has vast resources of oil and gas and gold, the entire oil resources that Venezuela taps into extends all the way to the southern shores of the United States of America. There is no reason to invade or take over Venezuela and deem it as a national security risk to the United States of America or a geopolitical incident in which to deploy a military. However, the most important geopolitical asset in the United States sphere of focus and interest right now is the Panama Canal, simply because it is owned by China.
Yes.
The Panama Canal was basically invested in by the Chinese to the tune of $10 billion, and the Panamanian government allowed China to invest in it with the understanding that China would have priority with regard to its large volume of exports and shipping going into Africa and into the eastern seaboard of the United States of America.
So I hear them big investment going on there. So that means China is a big player, a big player throughout the Caribbean already. And that's why Guyana got to be very mindful of how it moves forward with certain things. With China, I hear persons complaining all about everything was going on with these Chinese businesses in the country and the way that they're now taking over certain industries as well, not just the supermarket industry. Truckers are complaining as well, and people are complaining about the high number of duty-free vehicles that they're getting in the country and all kind of other things. But guess who's watching as well? The U.S. is watching. I could guarantee you that they pay careful attention to that, and that might be one of the board whistles, right? Allegedly, who knows? That might be one of the board whistles that Rubio was sending out when he was talking about the concussion roads. Who was a part of the contract for them roads there? Do we analyze what's going on around here? Because it's an international world right now as it relates to politics. It's no longer a time where we could just be consumed with everything that's going on in the country. We got to make sure that we stay abreast with everything going on internationally, because with the internet, it's easy for us to do so right now in 2025. So we're going to make sure that we stay updated with every single thing that's trending in Guyana and in the diaspora. So make sure that you subscribe, buddy. It don't cost you nothing. Let me listen some more of what's going on right here.
A lot of people have asked the question, why isn't China defending its right to the Panama Canal, even although they have invested $10 billion in that facility? And the answer is this. The Panama Canal is only 5% of China's global export potential in relation to what it can access with regard to its Southeast Asian partners. And with the opening of the Arctic Circle new sea route, which where you can take a ship from Shanghai all the way to Norway via the Arctic Circle, the Panama Canal is no longer of that relevance, simply because the distance to travel during the Arctic sea route is virtually half of that of sailing all the way from China across the Pacific Ocean just to get to the Isthmus of Panama in order to be able to go through and come into the Atlantic Ocean. There's no longer any need for that. You can leave China, come through the Arctic Circle, come through past Iceland and Newfoundland into the North Atlantic, and you're there days in advance of going across the Pacific Ocean. So China is not going to contest the Panama Canal in the same way as America perceives it will. The economic interest will still remain. However, China has an ace up its sleeve with regard to access to the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean region. And that is, it has already drawn plans and invested in those plans with the government of Honduras, where you can dig in New Panama Canal into the Central Lake District of Honduras and connect into the Caribbean region at far less cost than digging in New Panama Canal, simply because Honduras is low-lying like Belize, and it doesn't have the mountainous terrain in the areas that they're talking about with regard to putting the new canal. So it's far more expeditious to do that in Honduras. Not only that, but the canal that you would dig in Honduras has the facility of a large lake in the middle of it, which is supplied rather than by rainfall, like how the Gatun Lake in Panama is supplied purely by rainfall. This lake is supplied by subterranean aquifers, so you do not have the issue of rising and lowering water levels, which can shut the canal down.
I'm telling you, when you analyze all of those details, now you have a broader perspective. You get a broader perspective of what's taking place right in front of your face. You understand? So we could clean the lens a little bit and we could see clearer what's taking place, buddy. That's why shows like this is important. Movement Mondays, where we analyze all the parameters, we analyze different perspectives of what really taking place in the country, what's taking place, what's trending in Guyana and around the diaspora, right? Well, guess what? We analyze what international forces are speaking as it relates to this situation with the warships, right, in the water, because we want to know exactly what's being presented internationally, because this will affect us locally.
It's in the Caribbean. It recently targeted a Venezuelan boat that it said was carrying drugs. President Nicolas Maduro says the mobilization is aimed at his government. So what should we expect from the new tensions in South America? This is Inside Story. Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Cyril Vanier. Tensions between the United States and Venezuela came to a head this week after Washington took the unprecedented decision of bombing a boat near the Venezuelan coast. The Trump administration said the vessel was loaded with drugs and gang members and posed a threat to the U.S. Venezuela's president denies those accusations and says his country is ready to defend itself. So what's behind this action by the U.S.? Is it about narcotics or politics? We'll get to our guests in a moment. First, though, this report from Imogen Kimber.
This is the moment a US missile hit a Venezuelan vessel in international waters. 11 people were killed. The US says the boat was carrying gang members and a lot of drugs.
There was massive amounts of drugs coming into our country to kill a lot of people. Obviously, they won't be doing it again, and I think a lot of other people won't be doing it again when they watch that tape.
Venezuela says it was an extrajudicial killing.
What the United States presented as a strike against drug traffickers was nothing more than an illegal massacre in international waters. They violated international law. They violated their own laws. And worst of all, they violated a basic human principle, the right to life.
The US Secretary of
So Audrey saying China has Guyana and Jamaica in a big chokehold. There's like Bolo from one of them old Chinese movie when he choking the life out of somebody, right? Big strong Bolo, one of them chokehold like that, Audrey. I'm telling you, hey. Remember, Oliver, big up yourself. Thanks for tuning into the live, Oliver. Oliver saying, remember when you involve USA and China in your business, it's hell on wheels to get them out. And add oil to the equation. Now we got hell on fire wheels. I'm telling you. So definitely there's going to be more complications down the line if we analyze it from those lenses Oliver was presenting it right there, because them man ain't left out now when they see all this bread up on the ground. Hey, we rather, create whatever situation in you place so that we could continue to get what we got to get. And there's the complications that we got to analyze as Guyanese, because we're going to be the ones most affected by these situations, not the people that could pick up and go back to where they're from when the situations start to hit the fan, you understand? Delta, Ian Williams is saying Delta, China's investment in Guyana with loans for infrastructure solidify their footprint in Guyana that right now get America on the back foot. I telling you, yeah, because them loans what they give, some of them loans gonna be lasting for the next 10, 15 years and them thing as far as getting the repayment time and all of them things. So I definitely could see what you're saying right there, Ian. Big up yourself and thanks for tuning in. Always insightful commentary right here on Delta 9 Media. I want to thank every single person that's a part of the live right now. Audrey and every other moderator that's in the live right now. Carlisle, Gnosis, Focus, everybody that's commenting in the comment section, everybody that called in, big up yourself. And thanks for being a part of Delta 9 Media Movement Mondays. International flight, right? International. We all over the globe right now with it. And we jumping across into Trinidad and Tobago. Y'all hear about this situation right here? This is what's going on in TT, man. Them man taking pilots out the sky. I have to make sure I like this. Them man taking the pilot. Them man capture a pilot. But luckily, let's listen to the details in the story. Luckily, everything would have worked out in this manner. Let's hear what's going on right here in Trinidad and Tobago, right next to us.
Tobago Police Service says a multi-agency tactical operation on Sunday led to the successful rescue of the kidnapped victim, Caribbean Airlines pilot, Captain Daniel Cowell. During the intervention, the TTPS said officers encountered armed resistance, resulting in one suspect being injured. Police Commissioner Alyssa Guevara confirmed that the suspect was transported to a medical facility where he later succumbed to his injuries. He also said that Captain Cowell was immediately taken for medical examination.
Mr. Cowell is currently seeking medical attention and he is safe and will be reunited with his family soon. Unfortunately, one of his hostage takers / guards would have engaged my officers this morning, and in an exchange of fire, he was wounded and taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead.
Meanwhile, 3 suspects.
Wow. So this was a real big situation where they had exchange of fire and all of them things going on, boy. Trinidad going on at a rate.
Suspects are presently in custody and are assisting investigators with a manhunt actively underway for 2 additional suspects who fled into a nearby forested area during the operation. The police service said ground and aerial assets remain deployed in pursuit of the other 2 suspects. In a statement, Police Commissioner Alyssa Guevara stated that the operation exemplifies the TTPS's resolve and operational precision in confronting violent crime, commending the bravery of the officers in the confrontation. Commissioner Guevara also warned criminals that the TTPS will not tolerate the return of kidnappings for ransom, noting that those who choose a life of crime as a lifestyle will encounter members of the police service.
I hope that this would serve as a warning to other persons who wish to engage in that sort of illegality. The time has come to change. The tide is now. Please turn away from crime and look towards profitable, legal means of making a living. This end is not for you.
Captain Cowell, who resides in Valstein, was initially reported missing on September 3rd. Daniel.
Wow. So it seems like things on the ground in Trinidad as well is hot, right? Things on the ground in Guyana is hot right now. And as you can see, the flight has landed right here on Delta 9 Media Movement Mondays. international flight. We went around the world right here on Delta 9 Media, highlighting all the different details and everything as it relates and is trending right now in Guyana and in the diaspora. I want to thank every single person that was a part of the live. I want to thank everybody that's going to watch it in the replay as well in the future. Big up yourself and thanks for tuning in. Make sure that you subscribe and make sure that you thumbs up the live before you leave the flight, right? So you could get your baggage and subscribe so you're going to know the next flight time and when we're taking off. And what we're going to do, as we usually do sometimes, is make sure that we send out a notification on the community tab so that everybody that's subscribed would be able to see and be able to, come aboard when the flight is definitely in the air. You know what I mean? Definitely big up yourself. I want to thank everybody that's tuned in right now, everybody that's a part of the live right now. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a part of Delta 9 Media. It's Movement Mondays, right here on Delta 9
Study hard,
Media.
work hard, play harder. Verb, nerve, and muscle power. Keep thinking and moving at any age. Verb, nerve, and muscle power.
Unleash the best version of yourself with every goddess. Say goodbye to limitations and say hello to a better, stronger, healthier you.
A natural way to stay ready, baby. 'Cause I'm ready for you, Mr. C.
The ultimate male supplement. Men's total wellness formula. Packed with essential nutrients for men's health.
She'll call you Mr. C.
Definitely, Delta 9 family, big up yourself. And thanks for tuning in right here on Delta 9 Media. Movement Mondays, right? I see a lot of persons in the comment section. Stay well, my brother. Big up yourself, Carlisle. Thanks for tuning in. Definitely stay well and see you in the next flight. Big up yourself. Divine Butterfly, Audrey, everybody, Ian, everybody that's in the live right now. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for being a part of Movement Mondays. Thanks for tuning in right now and for being a part of Movement Mondays. Remember to hit that subscription button for all the persons who sometimes might forget to subscribe. Make sure that you subscribe and it costs you nothing to subscribe. So make sure that you join the team and be a part of the next flight. All right. Salute to everyone that was a part of this presentation of Movement Mondays right here on Delta 9 Media. And this is where the flight has landed and we will catch you in the next